Today's how to build is on the Aquatobots, the most happy and peaceful robots to ever exist.
So yes, the Aquatobots. If you haven't seen it, these are from animation that's on my Fallen Tomato channel. It's called Choose Your Own Storyline, The Fight for Paradise Hills, and that'll explain why these robots are awesome and why you'd want to build them. But all the pieces for these robots came from the set 7770, link in the description. One of the Aquarator sets from a few years ago. So you can build them all using that pieces. I had taken them apart a few years ago, and after I did the animation and was trying to rebuild them and couldn't find all the right pieces, so I had to substitute some different colors in, but I'll explain that as I go through. Aquatobots. So this is Lawrence the Aquatobot. He enjoys dancing. Let's take him apart. So his main body here is actual people legs stuck into the bottom of a 1x2 brick, like so. His legs are these wedge fin wing plates, whatever you want to call them, with a yellow grill on top, one of each, and then he can have his little sort of flipper feet, which are cool. For his arms, this is a 1x2 rhino plate, I'm gonna call it, because it looks like a rhino. And then it's got robot arm and robot hand. Then the next piece, and same on the other side. Next piece I didn't have in the right color. I couldn't find, at least. It's got to be somewhere, but it's a 2x3 upward slope. If you have the actual set or in the right color, this should be yellow, but I had to substitute in black because I didn't. On the back, he's got this little Aquarator's fin. Then he's got these 1x3 curvy slopes, 2 of those, with a hinge brick connecting them. And then you flip the hinge brick up, and then you can stick his eyes in that. He's got one green eye, which is a cylinder, and one blue eye. Put it all together. You've got Lawrence ready to dance. Dance, 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 dance. Dancey dance. This is Thurgood. He likes to laugh. Ho, 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 ho. He's a bit of a rhino too. So yeah, he is built out of a treasure chest. This is a 4x4 plate. On the bottom of that, we've taken some 1x2 slopes and stuck them in the holes, like so, as opposed to, you know, sticking them in the normal stud places, because this allows them to be pretty well centered in terms of gravity and whatnot, and twisted them out, give a nice solid base, put the treasure chest on, though his legs do easily snap off. Feet, I should say, not really legs, just sort of shoe feet. Then his head is this weird foot piece. It was in, you know, ATs and other Star Wars Walker sets, and was in some random sets, notably this Aquarator set. Rhino piece on the front. His eyes are black headlight brick. I think this piece might have technically come from a different set. I think it might have come from the skeleton set that I'll show you next, but that might be the only piece that was not in the Aquarator set. And 1x1 yellow cone on front for the eyes. So, like so, and then this sticks in right there. And when he laughs, his head hits the back of his thing right there to limit how far his mouth can open. If you're not happy with that, you can move it back. Not really, actually. Never mind. This is, or if you move it forward, yeah, then he can open his mouth wider, but he's got a big nose. So I opted for this nose. But, you know, you can change them slightly if you so desire. So this little guy is Marshall. I think he's kind of cute. So he's got an Aquator's body, torso going on, and then just stick flippers down there to be his little feet. If you take 2 gold coins, you can fit those in a hand. It's sort of annoying that these coins are not a regular Lego size piece, so they don't really fit into any other piece very well, but you can squeeze 2 of them in a hand if you're lucky. There we go. So like so. Because he likes finding those change. His head is a Technic axle brick. So it's got the axle hole in it. Got a 1x2 circuitry brick on top. This is the one that came in the set, but you know, whatever you sort of want to indicate his robotiness. Then the axle that I used is this guy, which is sort of 3.5 long because of that stud on the end. Then his sort of eye stalks. This piece would normally be yellow if you were using the pieces from the set, but I couldn't find my yellow ones, so I'm using blue. So the axle goes through that, goes through the brick, goes through another eye stalk, and then his eyes are green and blue crystals. And fits on top of his body, and his head can rotate, and his arms can go, and get those coins in there, and you've got your Marshall. Marshall. I mean, Marshall. So this weird guy is Harrison. I'm not really sure what's going on with his body. It's tall and got weird bits coming off the back, but basically, I built those other 3 robots first, and then was limiting myself to the pieces in that set. And this is what I had left to work with, and sort of looks like a weird monk robot, I thought, so that's why he's always meditating. Anyway, let's build him. So you're going to start with a 5 long axle, come in light gray in the set, put it through an axle brick. Put some yellow axle brushes, 2 on each side. And then do the axle to axle connector, 1 on each side. This one's already got a axle to pin connector in it, which I can't get out now, but believe me, it's an axle to pin connector. And then we've got a propeller, stick it on the bottom. Up here for the head, we've got another one of these like 3.5 long axles with the stud on the end. Stick a propeller through it. Stick some more of those yellow brushes, because there's a bunch of those in the set, and connect it to the axle connector. Stick the head from the little Aquator guy on top. This little Aquator helmet. That's the main body. And now sticking off the back, we've got this contraption. So it's a 2x4 plate. This is one of those sort of front of a boat or ship wedge plates. I'm not sure what you call it exactly, but it looks like this. Looks like a little spaceship. And then a 2x3 upward slope on the bottom. Again, I think this is supposed to be yellow, but black works just as well. 1x2 with handle, 1x2 plate, and stick it on there like so, and he actually stands up pretty well with that in place. Got his little back legs there, and I guess he could hop around, but mostly he just stays still and spins his propeller and maybe opens his mask or twists his head. Those are his primary actions there. But he could probably move pretty well underwater, I'd say. So this is all well and good if the robots are just living in their home of Paradise Hills and nobody invades. But should their land be invaded by some evil skeletons, well then they might have to take up arms to defend their home, as the commercial says. So this big pike piece comes from the skeleton set. And that is Marshall's weapon of choice. Thurgood gets a little amped up rhino horn. So this is an axle to pin connector. This time you can actually see it. Stuck a little Technic brush on it, and then stick that on the end of his rhino piece, and he's ready to have a rhino horn that's a little more menacing. Oh, knocked over Harrison there. Lawrence gets some harpoon guns that come in the Aquanaut set. And then Harrison here, he gets a big weird gun to match his big weird body. So this is that weird transparent kelp piece. Then we've got a scuba tank that fits nicely there and wraps around that almost. And then put this 1x1 cylinder in blue there to make it be a weapon. Put a flag up here just because it looks cool. And then down here we've got 1x1 clippy plates. So they both clip off this way, but then we're just putting them on at an angle to each other. Clip that side to the gun, clip that side to Harrison, and then he can pull it around. Though he does have trouble standing up with it. Oh, look, it's working. No, see, he falls over a lot with it. But you could always build out his back support more if you want him to stand up while holding his weird gun. I think I might have used putty to hold him in place during the animation, but there he is with his big, strange gun. Oh, there he goes, standing up. There we go. It's it's a tight fit, and they are prone to fly out.